From the dark beyond I call thee, and to these cards I call thee. From thine lair draw forth, enter into this game. Come forth, befoulment. Begin play again. Ooh. Eerie beginnings. Hello, Fays and Fiends, and welcome to another solo tabletop game live stream. Just double checking to make sure things are going good. I am apparently a little quiet, I'm being told in the live chat, so let me just make sure. Just a smidge. Just a smidgems. It's always a fun time when you try and do some changes to get things a little nicer. Let me see if I can get this a little better. Just a smidgem of things, just very lightly smidgeming. 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 Smidge? Is it my... No, it's not the limiter. Is it compressor? Compressor? Maybe? Maybe? Or is it suppression? Alright. That doesn't look like it did anything. I swear I was testing earlier. The recording seemed okay, but sometimes what goes to recording does not work to streaming. Sounds the same. My guess is noise gate. Let me try and kick noise gate up. No, maybe it's limiter. Limiter? Limiter. Let me see. No, it's still being a bum. I did do the right one, right? Let me double check. Yes. Still sounding the same. Okay. Let's see here. Does this do anything? Shouldn't be that low. I think it's supposed to just be at default. Compressor. Ooh, that looked like it really shot up. All right. How am I now? Now too loud. Okay. So it's with the compressor. All right. Compressor is what we got here. Compressor. Okay. Yes, I was trying to mess with the compressor. It went really low first to see what direction we needed to go. How am I now? There I am. Okay. Yay, we got it, everybody. Thanks, chat. All right. Cool, now with that out of the way, let's get into the proper introduction. And while we're here playing tonight, hi everybody, my darling Fays and Fiends, again, from the top. Welcome to a solo tabletop RPG night. Today is a special one. We are playing, I mean, they're always special, but today I was asked to play a game called Ritual, which is a solo tabletop game, sort of a horror based or journaling game around a sort of ritual setting. So this is in Kickstarter right now. So if you do, for over on my Twitch people, if you do command code Ritual, you will get the link pop up for the Kickstarter if you want to look into what the game is about, more about it. I am playing a pre-release sort of ashcan version of this game. And that just means it's not the finished product. Things are bound to change. There are maybe some sections that aren't quite complete yet. And you know, all the stuff that comes with that. Now, granted, with solo games, you can add and adjust as you feel as a player. I will be adding and adjusting the mechanics to fit me and my setting as Some of the ritual things I can't specifically do, only because my play space is weirdly set up and I want to keep it safe. Which I'll talk about more of that in a second when we get to mechanics, as we like to talk about mechanics first and then get into the actual play of the game. So in terms of disclaimers, as I said, this is the pre-release of the game that we're playing, so everything's bound to change, things adjust, all that fun stuff, and I was asked to play it by those who designed it. Additional things such as content warnings and such, because this is a game very much centered on ritual around magic, and it does say in the PDF, or in the document I have too, is this isn't a template for an actual ritual, as much as it may mirror some elements that practitioners may use in their own practices. This isn't meant to be a ritual or any such thing. This is a game. So if you are somebody looking to practice witchcraft or other such kind of practices, whether it's within the paganistic like sphere or heathenism, whatever you wish to follow, please go do your research, reach out to practitioners of those practices that you're into, and discover there. This game is not about that. It's just sort of inspired by that ritualistic play and turning it into a game. And it is a horror game, as the setting for this one is we are doing a ritual to try and defeat an entity known as the King, who had existed before the time of creation. So that is sort of very loose premise of the game. And for additional things I can say here, I'm going through the little document I was given. Again, we're setting up more of a scary, eerie atmosphere, trying to fight off this dark, fathomless or unfathomable entity. So things could get spooky. Safety wise, it mentions in the book here, because of it mirroring certain elements, there's like burning candles and such. I only have my one burning candle for my own physical safety. So always modify things to match what you are comfortable with and what is safe for you. So in terms of at least that, you got that. And I'll go into more of why there's like safety around the mechanics and stuff in a moment. So this is going to be a different game than what we've seen on the channel. We've seen card games, we've seen other types of tarot card games. This one is a little different, not just in terms of it being a ritual setup to interact with the game, but there, as you see in my little side here where my hand is floating around, we got sort of a spiral of cards already laid in place. So I did a lot of the pre-stuff already, but I will explain that in a moment. But you'll see this is a little different. So it may end up being a little ASMR-y, as this game is more intended as, from what I've read, as something you do very personal in your quiet space and in a safe space that you create for yourself. So this game, as I play it, I'm playing it for a stream, so there will be some elements that are different only because of that change of environment. So it'd be a very different thing if anyone was to play this like in a dark room, not streaming to an audience, just for themselves, for playing a game. So do keep those in mind if you're seeing anything or hearing anything that's interesting. Just imagine that now as a solo play in a dark space of your own. As anything in relation to magic is always a very personal thing, and that's what even the book says here, is the whole point of this is to make it a little more personal for yourself, tapping into that pretend magic. Again, we want to make sure there's that layer of this is game. We don't want to tap into any dark things here. This is very much game. So going over the PDF, or not PDF, the doc that I have, Whoa, camera, calm down. It's the thing, my setup doesn't like it when there's no tangible human thing. Stay with me, camera, don't glitch out. All right. So where was I? Yeah, so in the document, in this current version, we got a little bit about the lore here, which I mentioned briefly, which is just talking about having your space sort of in the heart of your home or wherever you feel most comfortable, tapping into sort of the play of visions in the peripheries, the movement of shadows, that kind of stuff. So bringing those kind of narrative eerie bits into your play. So as we sort of go through the game, I may describe moments of things that character-wise experiencing. Again, blanketing. It's going to be in-gaming character, not me. I am perfectly safe and sound. It's my character dealing with this king. All right. So to sort of further set this up, as I mentioned with this king here, we are a person who has been noticing oddities happening in their space. Movement of shadows, movement of objects, things not quite being right. That there's sometimes a unexpected change of temperature in the air that shouldn't be happening, and doing everything I can to not freak out about it. Just before we get our ritual set up, my character, my person, realizes they are now seeing a little bit more tangible movements that isn't just in the periphery, it's now actually becoming or coming into the vision, these movements and things disappearing with a blink, odd smells, and visages appearing in the shadows until an actual form is almost trying to rip itself out from it. And it's this entity that I realize we have to do a ritual to stop before they rip themselves out of the shadows and claim my soul. All right. So now on to the mechanics of this game and why you're seeing this space over here. So much like any ritual, we have a ritual space. So we got my cloth, I got a ritual cloth. This is actually one of my true altar cloths. I love using it for my games, so it is here for this. And I need hydration, remember to hydrate. I am using one of my tarot card decks. This one, anyone who's familiar with my channel has seen a few times now. One of my favorite ones to use for game. I just love the imagery for gaming and fits a lot of the themes I tend to play. So that's why I tend to use it a lot. So we have my tarot cards set up in a spiral. And other items, we have 7 candles. The other one I'm burning right now is my giant one. I worry about having too many candles in my little space, so that's my compromise, is just the 1 candle. Off to the sides, on our screen left, I have some incense that I haven't started burning yet. I wanted to wait until the start of our game. I have a quill with some ink, though I'm not actually going to use this. I'm just going to use a standard pen for writing because it's a little less messy with my setup that I have going on. And then on this side, which you can see is supposed to represent Earth, this little tray and of blue sand. Well, I only had blue sand available. And a little black bowl that is filled with water. I have a couple additions. I added some quartz because it's good clarifying. And oh yeah, I got a dagger off to the side. I couldn't find my actual ritual dagger. I have no idea where it disappeared to. So this is one that I inherited, a switchblade, a dagger that I'll be using for anything that asks for it. Again, another reason why you may substitute for things, whether you substitute the fire, this dagger for like I don't know, like a pen. No, pen represents something else. Or maybe a wand sort of instrument, like anything, so you can keep safe. You don't want to mindlessly wave something around and accidentally slice yourself if you are the kind of person that's accident prone, so be careful. So we got all those tools ready. Now, why are these important? They just represent different ritualistic elements that this game wanted to tap into. So the incense represents scent. The little thing of dirt here represents earth, which you'll get to like draw into or pour things into, any of that kind of stuff. Candles, flame, fire. There is word, which is paper and pen or quill, whatever. I got a sketchbook piece of paper because I love my sketchbooks. And then the blade. So those were the sort of things this game wanted to bring into it here. There is mentions of how to, or what this game considers charging the items that you bring into play, cleansings and such. I'm not going to do it here on stream. It can take a bit. Depending on what the kind of things you do. I love moon charging. And I do have an option to smudge, but all my stuff is clean. But there is some notes on how to do that, so there you go. Again, this isn't to be an actual guide to ritual magic. It's just in here to simulate play. All right. Next page, place of power. So wherever you feel safest to conduct this game is where you want to set it up. I have my one spot. It's my only spot for a game, especially while I'm streaming. It's delightful. So we'll be here. We'll be here. All right. So from this point on, the PDF or the document that I have gets more into getting like into play, like setting yourself up. So there's creating your mantra, so something you will always come back to use as your center through the gameplay. So I made my mantra, which is I am present, I breathe. So that is the one that my character will be, my nameless character. And there is more information. Again, if you want to learn more, make sure you support the Kickstarter. There's a lot of little infos I'm sort of skipping over, skimming over, as I think it's, again, this game, as I've read through it, is very much a more like personal play compared to some of my other solos. So if you are intrigued at all, go want to play it. Go get it. Go play it. Go support it. So once you have your mantra, you make a sigil for that mantra that's supposed to be sort of a power element. Again, I do have mine written, but because I do have a history of practitioner and that kind of background, I'm not going to share it on screen. That's just out of my own beliefs. So I like to keep sigils private. But I do have my sigil sketched out in my own space. All right. So I think the rest of this document goes into more of the play from here on out. So I'm just going to discuss the couple things I'm doing that's different than what I have in the document and what may appear in the game, as it's more just my own sort of addition, my own home brewing of it to make it just to make it for me. So first, the discussion of the cards here. We have a series of cards starting with a major arcana, the Fool. We always start with the Fool, as this represents us and it means we're at a power of 0. And then the card that represents the entity known as the King will be the king of any suit you use. So you get to pick out a suit of cards. It can be tarot or it can be playing cards, but you pick one suit. The one addition that I added for my own play is I decided that each suit has a different theme inspired by that suit. So in my session tonight, I am playing with the suit of blades, or in the traditional tarot, swords. So I'm taking this as this is a very mix of a physical and mental battle. The king is going to try, of course, and fight me off, spread deceit and lies, and trick me, all of those negative traits that come out of the reversals of the cards in the suit, while every right that I do is kind of that pushback and doing the more positive side of all those. So that is my one addition, is I put themes to the suits. So I'm facing a more aggressive, more kind of cold, cunning king in this session. So just double checking with my tarot card book, because stuff. Yeah, so this can be a very destructive king tonight. All right. The additional thing that I've done, because not because there's no dice or anything, you sort of just play as you go, but in the current doc that I have, only one of the rituals explain how you can lose your right to the king, so each card is a different right, which was just not following or forgetting a step in the ritual. I get easily distracted, and because I am live streaming, that makes it very hard to remember every single step. So instead, I'm going to flip a coin. I have a yes/no coin that I actually got with this altar cloth and this tapestry behind me. So every time I do a ritual, I'm going to do a yes/no coin flip to see if it was successful. And if it was, I progress forward. If not, the king progresses forward. And I just found that this gives a little more interesting flavor for myself, as in the traditional mechanics, the king would be progressing every single move, and I'd be trying to every time unless I fail a ritual, but it's hard to know if you failed a ritual, so I'm using a coin to help me with that. If I can get the plastic case off it, there we go. Aha! I'll put it right there. Let me get some hydration. All right. So with those little home brewy, this is how I am approaching it and what I need to do for myself. We can get like right down into this. So I think I said everything I need to say about this. Oh, so. Trying to get my head in the right space now. So I have set up my altar space. I have started to begin the ritual, and I'm feeling the deep presence kind of oppressing from the darkness and shadows of the spaces of my place. I place down the altar cloth and say, "Base of power for sturdy footings." I place my candles. I almost put my finger in ink. And one by one, I go back and forth and I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pillars of light to hold back the dark. Prime among these as I light the 7th, larger candle. Channel mine own light. I grab my incense and I light it, saying, fragrance from the earth to ground me to the mortal plane. Hopefully that's actually burning, because sometimes this incense is a little old and doesn't like to burn. Let's not burn my fingers. Thank you. There we go. I like to do a little smudging just in case. There you go. Use wax melts if you ever need it, but I'm good with incense. Next, we place a bowl of earth. Okay, that did come through. We place a bowl of earth, and I say, mortal plains, own soil, from whence I came shall remain. Store-bought is fine if you need it. And then I place a bowl of water. What? I say, mortal plains, own lifeblood. And everything's there. So we are now working amongst the darkness with only candlelight to maintain ourselves, keeping centered, keeping a steady breath, a steady focus, not letting any outer influences try to reach in and grab onto my soul, to send that coldness and despair into me. I do not understand quite yet what this entity is. I just know they exist and they are trying hard to reach out, and not in a very kind way. So I'm going to reveal my rights here. These are the only ones that we know, and what these ones are, or how the cards come to play, to go back to mechanics. We want a higher number than the king is by the end. So if I can lock down the queen and jack and 10 and ace, should be golden. But we're at a very hard chance as the king starts with 13 points and I start with 0. All right. Okay, he has some pretty high cards near him. I don't like that. So. I think for these rituals, there is 3 examples in the book that are currently written out in terms of full thing. And I think I will do a couple of them, but for the rest of the cards, because it's going to be, you know, we got a lot of cards here and I want to try and move my way through the board. So I'm going to do some of my own rituals that I make up on the spot. And again, I'm going to flip the coin to see if anything's successful. So first and foremost, I feel like we need to set up a ritual of protection. So with my feathered quill, I bring the incense smoke around, wave it through the space, muttering my mantra of I am present, I breathe. I am present, I breathe. And with every slow breath and inhale and exhale, with every wafting of the smoke and flame, I focus on that protection, as though I'm trying to wash the space. I make sure every candle is lit. We will pretend every candle is lit. And take a sprinkle of dirt and sort of draw it in a circle around the ritual space with me inside. So let's see if I can interpret this as it's successful or not. Where did my coin go? Isn't it right here? Did I do something with my coin? There it is. It got taken away with my fairy coins. I have fairy coins. There you go. Put the fairy coins away. They're not needed. We're not fighting fairies right now. We're fighting fiends. All right. So let's see. No. So maybe it's the instantaneous aggressive nature of the king in this space, but as I try and craft that protection, as I try and swirl the smoke around, instead of it moving with me, it's as though it is pressing against me, and I'm seeing the forms of this face, elongated and sharp featured, rigid, sharp fanged teeth. It's sort of capturing up the smoke and moving against me, trying to cascade over the shadow and darkness, taking advantage of what play the fire makes. So I am stuck there, and the king advances one. All right. I am going to do one of the written ones, which is Ritual of Redirection, that is written here. So I'm gonna claim that first card so I'm able to continue forward. And we begin by drawing a pentagram in our bowl of earth, which is just a symbol of 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Take the bowl and raise it with our hands. And oh, eye level. Let me do it here. Look at this. Okay. Completely block out my eyes from you. Let the filter do its thing. We say, face towards the darkness whence you were made, and turn the bowl 1 rotation clockwise, facing away. And as we take a breath, we recite a quiet line a couple times. So pretend just in a whisper, and make attempts to say, from evil to mine to be remade, From evil to mine to be remade, from evil to mine to be remade. And I place back my earth. Dip a finger in the water. Say, life giver, extinguish the evil flame from thine own. And flick it at the earth. Wah. And take up our ritual dagger. Hold it in a hand, thumb extended. And the others... Let's see if I can do that. Okay, again. I was like, wait, can I do this? Pinky and index and thumb extended. The middle ring retracted. Okay. And we say our powerful words. Dig the dagger into the earth. Erase our pentagram. And claim our right. Now, even though I claimed my right, our king can still move forward, so I'm gonna flip. Okay. A ritual didn't do enough, so he does move forward and claim that one. Next card. Next right, I should say. Right is the term for this. Let's see. I could unveil it with a scrying. All right. Take some paper. I scribble down the initial words that pop up. Trying to focus on the things to push back, to protect, to close off whatever this entity is trying to do. And then, with that written, I quietly mutter it to myself 3 times. Fold up the paper. And focusing full intention. Catch it on fire. And I will let it join scent there. That is my safe burning place. And as that, the embers of the paper burn with that crimson glow, I threw a bit of dirt at it. And I say, let Earth maintain what is its own. Let air carry what is its own. Let fire protect what is own. Let water, as I dip my fingers in and flick it into now my little concoction. Let water protect what is its own. And the attention being focused on, I am a present living being, and this entity coming for me does not get to take me away from this earth. Let's see. If I am successful, please say yes. Yes! Okay, so I fully claim that card. And we'll say the king stays there, as he is also trying to fight back against my rituals. Alright. Ooh, page next. Okay. So for me to claim this right is visible. Okay. I am going to, let's see what I got. And I can't turn over the ones that I have yet. All right. Well, I've did something written, so let me I've been passive. I've been passive with my first rates, so maybe I will be a little more aggressive. I am playing with the sword, so let us be a little more aggressive. So I do some motions, sort of creating my sigil of power in the air over the flames of my main pillar candle, the one that represents my true inner light, my deep power in the flame. Focusing on my words with every inhale and exhale, focusing on I am present, I breathe. I tap on the water. And say heat. What do I want to say? Because I'm making this up on the fly. I say, as I tap on the water, flame quenched by earth. And then I tap on my bowl of earth, saying water satiated by earth. And then I tap by my incense burner and I say earth is swayed by air. And gently place my dagger down. My final sort of focused word for this particular rite. I say, and with these elements, thine is whole. Let's see if I was successful. No! The king advances. And I am stuck here. Alright. So, what shall I do now? Well, I got something I can scry upon because the next card is unknown to me. So, let's do a little scrying ritual that this game considers. So here I got my bowl of water. Have it at chest height. So I raise it to chest height and I say, mirrored surface, bring me sight. It is in front of me. Sit down. I take candle. I'm going to take one of the not literally lit ones. And bringing it to sort of the wrist spot of my other hand, I say, symbolic of blood, take this gift as life to the life giver. Close your eyes and saying my mantra, I'm present, I breathe. I'm present, I breathe. And as I say my mantra, slowly drip the wax in. With life given, bestowed me the sight of evil's intent. As the candle is placed back in its spot, you take 6 deep breaths. We get sight on the king trying to conduct his own motions from the shadows. Quite angry, quite furious. He doesn't like fight back. Depending on what it is. I feel with this suit, he does like some pushback because it creates the conflict he desires. Draw my sigil on paper as I continue my breaths. Rip it out of my paper. Place it underneath the water bowl. I am present, I breathe. I am present, I breathe. I am present, I breathe. And beseeching to my water, to the essence of water, I say, Aqua Vitae, bestow upon me the knowledge of the unknowable. Let's see what our next card would be. Oh, 7. It would be a 7. Okay. So the king does advance forward with that one. And I'll do a flip, see if I can move forward. Flip. No. My coin doesn't want me to move forward. Very sad. All right. Getting quite anxious now as the shadows in my periphery seem to deepen. Almost impossibly show what can be darker than darkness, and yet there it is to the sides of my visions. I can see almost like inky tendrils trying to wrap itself around every nook and cranny. The smoke continuing to be manipulated as I wasn't able to contain it to my space. So I'm gonna do an attempt at a second rite of protection. This one's better with salt, but we'll just use our standard earth or pretend salt because game. So this time I take another sort of little handful of earth, hold it palm down over the flame, not so much that it hurts me and I catch on fire, but just over my main pillar lit flame, envisioning just the light penetrating through my hand, through tendon and blood and bone, and reaching into the earth. Breathing light into it. I am present, I breathe. As my mantra I say. And imagining with the intent of protection, of earth being broken, shredded up bone, envisioning it repelling back everything, and with the light infused creating a circle of light. Even if I cannot physically see it, a circle of light can still be there. I call upon the earth to be a fortified wall in this space as I once again sort of sprinkle it around. Yeah. No. But every time I try, though, the smoke has disappeared out as now the last of my incense is in this ambering state. I'm seeing whatever earth I'd laid in the circle is now being smudged out, as though something has been coming across it and gouging out. I see the scratches on the wooden floors as like a hooved, gnarled, nailed creature has been scraping away and not allowing for any of that protection circle to happen. So I'm stuck here. Okay. No, I don't want to flip yet. Well, let me see. What cards do I have that I can see? I am going to attempt a ritual to swap one power of mine and try and take the king. So I'm going to try and swap my 4 and see if I can get one of his revealed rights. As this is one of the mechanics written here. So Ritual of the Blind Exchange. Swap one right that is your right for an unrevealed right that is part of the ritual pattern. So we got a couple of these here. Extinguish 2 of the candles, so we'll pretend. Boop. And boop. I'm just going to touch them. There we go. As quietly as possible to not draw the attention, as he has been becoming more and more oppressive in this space. I cover the big flame of my main candle from my vision. And I say, from his view, remain unseen. And I look back directly at the candle and relit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As if I'm not looking directly at the flame as I light the candles. The ritual will fail at this point. But I did, I looked directly at it, I lit it. Now. I place a hand between the large candle and a flame of one of the little ones so they cannot see. I keep it hidden from its sight. I move the candle. And with my other hand, I gotta use my other hand. Okay. This is what I mean where I have to coin flip because this is really hard for me to do with my setup. Silver down, my hands are still there. Okay. We take 3 deep breaths and recite, where once was, now the other. Where once was, now the other. Where once was, now the other. And envision the flames of the candle swapping positions. Light a stick of incense. Well, my cone incense is not in reach, so I'm gonna light one of my actual sticks I have with me here. If I can get it. Come on, stick. You're giving me a hard time at a crucial point, stick. There we go. I got it. And as I light it, There. And I reuse it to light a flame. And a flame, I'll pretend I did. Again, for space safety, I'm not actually going to light them. Bloop. Bloop. Always looking at the flame. And sort of over again. Both hands. Hiding them from my vision. Be seen again, yet keep your secret. 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 I have to say it one more time. Be seen again, yet keep your secret. 6 times. So. This was the main one why I wanted the coin, because it's super hard for me to do this particular ritual without, because I'm going back and forth here. So this is where I really want to flip the coin. Ah. Yay, it was successful. So I'm going to swap my 4 for this one. He can take the 4, which he does because he moves forward. Okay. I consider that a successful thing. So moving on to the next one. Trying not to let the shadows distract me. Trying not to let the change of smell in the incense and all the ways that my space is morphing around me. I continue focusing within my circle. And well, we're fighting darkness. I think I need to do more calling on the light. Because I've been focusing, I did a lot of general fire and a lot of earth. Maybe I need to focus on fire in terms of light and not its actual, like, the heat of it, the flame of it. So I take my bowl of water. As fire is the sun and light of day, water is the moon and reflection of that daylight. And I dip my fingers in the water and begin splashing around the space, saying, let water scatter light into dark. Let water repel the shadow. Let water scatter light into dark, and let water repel the shadow. Let water scatter light into the dark. Let water repel the shadow. I place it back down. Let's flip. Ooh. No! I am stuck. But the king encroaches evermore. Kind of mocking me in my attempts. I can hear his whispers sort of, and not so much in the ear, it's almost like deep within the canal, in the mind, in the back of the spine. Just the deep, burning raspiness guttural and primal, unearthly sort of pulling as though clawing into the brain. All right, there's only one card left. I'm gonna do one more ritual, one more rite here, and then we'll see who gets it, who lands on it. And then we'll count it up. So with that, I think I need to be a little more... Being protective isn't working. Maybe I made the wrong choice. I am with the swords with the blades in my tarot. So maybe I need to be more aggressive. Gotta pump up that approach. So take the ritual dagger and I take the water and center it and hold the blade sideways. What can I make of this ritual? What can be a final thing? It's aggressive. I focus on the flame that I see dancing in the water. I then turn my blade counterclockwise 3 times, muttering my mantra of I am present, I breathe. And from that water, I tilt the blade until it also catches the flame of light on it in its metallic reflection. As though holding a blade between 2 sources of light as it gains its own, reflecting both the water and the flame. I am imagining the essences of water and flame, of reflecting the spirit of light around the blade, and then go turning it over and strike just a simple X in the earth before placing just tip down, extended index and pinky and thumb, and what would be a good line to recite for this? Flame of soul, water of blood, earth of bone. Flame of soul, water, blood, earth of bone. Flame of soul, water, blood, earth of bone. Thy binding will not be undone. Place my instruments back where they were. And make a final flip. Once again, this is my homebrew mechanic because I need something for me. That makes me know if I succeed or not. No! My dice, I almost said dice. I'm so used to saying dice don't like me. My coin doesn't like me. So in this final strike, I unfortunately do not claim that card. The king does. All right. Well, there's still a chance that I may have garnered enough power even through the failure to repel back this king entity. Who should I do first? Should I do the king first? Yes, it says. Of course it says yes for the king. So now we're back to the sort of mechanics here. I sort of mentioned it a bit before. Each card has a point associated. Of course, you know, 10 is 10, so on and so forth. The king starts with 13. Or I guess I'm using tarot, so it is technically 14 because the tarot suit has 14 cards. Playing cards, it'd be 13. So 14. An unrevealed card. No, he claimed 9. Let me get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Romans always get me. So he's got 9. So that puts him up to 23. You got 5, so that's 28. Another unrevealed. Oh no, he got the queen. I lost. I can already tell you I lost. So that's 12, so 40. 5. No. This was 10. This is 5. So let me add 10, so he's at 50. He got 1. It's at 51. 4. 55. He's got like all the only one he's missing is Paige. He demolished me. Knight 14, 13, 12. 67. And then 6. 72. He demolished me. But let's see what I got anyway. So fool 0. Page 11, yay. 8. 19. Plus 7. 26. Plus 2. 28. Plus 3. 31. 31 versus his 72. Well. As I attempt the closing, which I will read. I feel as though hands have reached just like through either side of my sternum and up through the back underneath my the scapulas, my shoulder blades, sort of just coming and reaching in from all sides into the very core of me. And I feel a flash of sudden winter cold that very swiftly changes into volcanic hot, as though these burning daggers start ripping apart through my ribcage to claim my soul, and I feel it just ripped asunder as I blink and nothing but darkness greets my sight. So, my character soul is gone forever to the king, for he has claimed a mortal soul for his reign. And this coin was not kind to me. Alright. Well, that was a quick preview of this game called Ritual. So you can definitely see the potential of it being even more, I guess, more in-depth than what I have done here. It's a little weird doing like ritual performance as a performance on stream. So that was an interesting mindscape for me to get into. as someone who I don't do it so much nowadays, but used to do a lot more ritual practice before, so that was an interesting space to be in. I can see this getting very intense in a private setting for sure. If I had a different setup, I can think of a couple spaces in my home where it would be really cool to play in. I wonder, because I was using a flip coin to help me decide if a ritual progressed or not. It's not part of the game at all. That was my own homebrew choice. So I wonder how rituals will be determined. There was only one in the fully written examples where it says if you're not doing the certain thing, then your ritual fails. That was a little difficult for me to do on stream, which is why the coin choice. But hey, maybe you want to do that too for your play. Maybe that's an idea we're like, I like that. That's why we love swapping things amongst the space, because you may find in someone else's game like, oh yeah, that may work for me. So yeah, maybe just the blades weren't kind to me. I wonder if one of my other tarot card suits would have been kinder. Start me off with all the queen, and he got no, I mean, he is one, the king is one, but he got two of the remaining three. I got knight and he got page and queen. Bah. Right. So that is ritual. If you are interested in learning more, seeing a deeper insight into the game beyond what we have shown here tonight, make sure you check out the Kickstarter. If you use the command code ritual in chat here live on Twitch, that will bring up the Kickstarter link. I'm losing words. Or if you're watching this later on YouTube, it'll be in the description down below. It is currently in its remaining days, I think about a week left to support the Kickstarter. And then, you know, when it's supported and it's out published, you can go find it where you need to find it. I'll have links to the creators, Hive Mind Games as well, for the YouTube down below. What else can I say? Yes. I'm getting smoky. Hang on. I think I breathed in too much incense smoke. Right. There we go. Go away. Go away. Shoo. Stop trying to smother me. Get out of here. Go. Get. Okay. And as I said, this was a preview. So very sort of that Ashcan bare bone. I substituted my own rituals. Maybe you want to play and do your own rituals. Interpret as you need. And a lot of stuff I did very lightly skim over to not completely spoil what is in here, though it may be changed in the final product. So always keep that kind of stuff in mind. And again, pushing that disclaimer, this was just a game. This is not a true practiced ritual. It's just inspired by sort of the Christian lens of paganism and ritual of that. So this isn't a template to follow if you want to get into witchcraft or anything like that. Don't do it. This is just pure game. Pure game. And yeah. Very, very interesting. So I told you where to find the game if you're interested while it's still live on Kickstarter, or maybe you find again later on the creators' pages. And oh yeah, me. I am here. I enjoy playing solo games, and I enjoyed this one. It got to be a little different. I like playing some things that take me out of the comfort zone of what I'm used to. Again, we're used to sort of the Carta games, or I got a little bit used to Wretched and Alone. Those sort of core systems that people tend to rely on. This is a little more unique. I look forward to seeing what the final product would be. Maybe they might be inspired by some of the choices I made. Maybe you're like, oh yes, let's theme each suit to add another element to the entity. Or maybe they might like the coin flip. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what'll be changed or added in the future. So yeah, and of course, if you like me and support me in my work, make sure you do so. You know, share my stuff. You can find me on Ko-Fi, where You can throw a tip my way for all the streaming fun I do, the videos, or all that stuff. I am trying to get all my stuff updated, so any support is welcomed. As a note, I got a new camera stand for my overhead because my other one completely broke. There you go. That's what your support does. It helps me get new stuff too, so I don't have a camera constantly moving over my play space. But yes, this was an interesting joy. I think it would definitely be a different experience if I wasn't streaming it. I think I would find, especially taking the time to go through the true ritual, to go through the rites. Because I did find it was starting to hit on the things that I have done before in ritual. So I was like, I don't know if I want to fully go into that on a stream for my own personal beliefs, but hey, I will try it on my own. But before anything, let me read out the closing ritual, because you gotta do a closing ritual reciting. So, thrice mark mine words, your power stripped from thee, king. Stripped from thee, return to thy namesake befoulment, your lair and gall. Jail. Remain there for eternity, bounded by your sempiternal soul, fit for naught more than baiting, encroach not again. All right. With that closing final reminder to follow or support the Kickstarter for more details, and if you want to try the game for yourself so you can enter more of the deep depth of ritual lore for this game and explore those elements for yourself. Thank you for joining me tonight, Fays and Fiends. I hope you have a good day, night, evening, whatever it is in your time zone. Remember to hydrate, very important to be well watered when you are creating a ritual to fight back the darkness. And, you know, all the good stuff to take care of yourselves, you know, hydrate, I said, medications, reminder to take your meds. Sleep is also important. Having a well-rested brain helps fight the evils of the world to the best of our abilities. And we will see you for the next one. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.